Okay, I know what you're thinking. Wow, Lance, you really dressed up really nice today for us. What's going on here? You must have a really important message. Yeah, I do. And in all seriousness, I'm actually doing pictures today with my wife for our wedding. We got married a few years ago, but we're having a nice little party for our friends and family. Anyway, continuing onwards, I got something very, very, very important to speak to you about. If you are in a situation where somebody has recently misled you or outright lied to you, here's a nice, easy, straightforward way to call them out for bad behavior. So before you call your counselor and complain and do this deep dive analysis, or therapist, and do this deep dive analysis on why people keep taking advantage of you, remember, I'm here to help you actually fucking fix it rather than analyze things to death. I mean, what would you rather have? Analysis paralysis, or actually practical ways to actually fix it so these things don't happen in the fucking future? If you like these messages, please subscribe. I got a lot more stuff for you here. I'm here to get you off the counselor's couch. Anyway, so I'm gonna tell you two quick stories, and I'm gonna embed those techniques in there, okay? Listen, this might be a surprise to you all, but I do run a business at the end of the day, okay? I'm not a good Samaritan. I'm not. In all seriousness, I love what I do. I think I do really great things for people, and I think I go above and beyond. But I do run a business at the end of the day. I do have a coaching program, but I do try to share some really great practical things here. So anyway, bottom line is, I do run a business. So obviously as a business owner, I do have challenges, and like anyone would have. I mean, I live in the real fucking world here. So I'll give you two stories here. Actually, as a matter of fact, since we're getting our wedding pictures today here, we negotiated with a hotel to have our wedding and do certain things. Now, this is the first key here. When it comes down to calling someone out for bad behavior, misleading you, lying you, or bad behavior in general, where they're not holding to what they said they're going to do, here's an easy way to do it. First thing first, make sure that anytime you're dealing with somebody, you always have, this might sound a little stupid and silly here to hear, but you really can't, you can really trust people only to a certain degree here. You got to have things in writing. Anyway, I had in writing in communications with the wedding point person that we were going to have, some sparklers and, fiery kind of stuff here, whatever. Anyway, long story short, we have emails with her that we were going to do this here. Now, this is many months ago. Now, here we are months later, and now she's all of a sudden telling us, oh, we can't do things. And by the way, if you see this video, we know you're a good person. We're just like, listen, you made a mistake, and you got to make good on it, okay? Now, the truth is sometimes when we're talking in a situation where there's bad behavior or misleading, it might not have been done on purpose, okay? So I'm not trying to say that it was done maliciously. I don't think it was at all. This person's really a wonderful person, but she did make a mistake, and we do, bottom line, want to make things right. And again, I'm hoping you're going to learn from this here. So the first thing is always make sure you have stuff in writing. It could be email, it could be text, whatever. Now, of course, you have to be willing to call people out for this stuff here. So anyway, bottom line is we had in writing that we're going to have some level of fireworks of sorts, right? And anyway, long story short, just a few weeks before the wedding date, she told us we could only have these fireworks in certain places here. Here's the problem. We already paid to have it done in a certain way, and she's completely derailing our plans here. Again, I know not on purpose. She's a really nice person here. I'm just giving this story so I can help you all here. Anyway, long story short, I paid a lot of money to have done what I'm going to have done here, and now she's derailing our plans. Now, we told her in writing via email a long time ago what we were going to do. Now, she said that she was just kind of letting us know that, the insurance and all that stuff was, received as far as with our vendor, but we put right in front of her what we're going to do, and now she's telling us we can't do it. Now here's the next part here. First thing is I have it in writing, okay? I have it in writing, I have the emails, and I'm pretty fucking organized. Now, here's the second thing. Here's the second key here. A wise man once said, when two people enter the room, the person who's most certain of their position is going to fucking win. He didn't curse. I like to curse. But anyway, I'm sure you got my point here. So I know that she might not be willing to give us what we want. I know that she might not. There might be a rule there that she really just didn't bring to our attention, which she should have many, many months ago. I'm aware of that. So I'm going to focus on the principle. The principle is I spent X amount of money, and I'm not going to eat that money, especially when it's not my fault. So I had a call with her, and again, I'm coming in much more certain than she's going to be here, saying, hey, listen, I know you might have made a mistake, I know there might have been a miscommunication, whatever, but I have this stuff in writing here, and I made plans and spent money based on what you said, based on your response, and you had every opportunity to tell me this is not going to be okay, but you did it. So maybe you can't do that. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. Maybe there's really a rule there, no problem, but I want that money back in some form. Now, of course, there are certain services that you provide. That's what I said to her. Certain services you provide. Maybe give more of this, maybe more of that. but I'm letting her know there's flexibility. The bottom line is I'm not trying to fight her on the rule. I'm focusing on the monetary value, and I'm telling her I want that back. Okay? That's what I focus on. See, if you fight somebody on the rule itself, you might lose. There really might be a rule. The problem is they just weren't very thorough and really addressed it in the beginning. So you focus on the principle. I don't want to lose my money, okay? So the bottom line is that's how I did here. I'm straightforward. I made sure it's about the essence of what I'm losing. And of course, I'm organized and have all the communications proving that she really just wasn't as thorough as she should have been. Again, super nice person. We all make mistakes, right? But I'm not going to eat the money for that. Now, I'll give you another example here. Now, again, big surprise here. I run a fucking business. I deal with a lot of clients. Now, I love what I do, and I go way above and beyond for people. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you should be. I have tons and tons of video testimonials. This is the best thing they did in their entire life. Not just relationships, by the way. And all the crux foundation for everything you want, winner, chicken dinner, is emotional strength. So anyway, I do run a business. I do have contracts, and there's a certain minimal level that, of course, I do require before people work with me. I do require initial payments, whatever. But once I'm working with somebody, I might be a little flexible on their dates to pay. So recently I had somebody that was supposed to pay me a few weeks ago. Now, this person, very nice person, by the way. Anyway, bottom line is it's not about them. It's about, the fact that I'm going to make sure that certain boundaries are held. Now, of course, I keep everything in writing. I have contracts, I have certain dates where things are going to be paid. Anyway, long story short, they were supposed to pay their next payment weeks ago. Now, they kept promising they're going to pay. Oh, I just got to sort a few things out. Now, again, I do have a contract. Everything's in writing. Now, I let that date slide a little bit because I have a history of this individual. Again, very nice person. I know they mean well, and maybe they've gone away with these things with other people here, but there's only so far they're going to get away with it with me here. So long story short, they kept promising in writing over and over that they're going to make the next payment. And, about a week and a half went by. I got multiple promises verbally and in writing as well. Long story short, they eventually came back and said, I can't continue financially. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. I work with people every continent but Antarctica. Not everyone can financially continue to do certain things here. Here's the problem. They kept telling me for weeks that they're fully committed. They kept continuing under the guise that they're going to make the next payment. And even as recently as a couple days prior, I'm just sorting things out here. That's what the problem is here. And again, I know they're a nice person. They might have meant well, but bottom line is they're infringing on... they're taking a little bit too much advantage. I'm not saying on purpose, but that is what they're doing. So once they let me know that they were not going to continue, obviously I got a little annoyed. Now, by the way, remember I teach an emotional strengthening process. I do care what people think about me. I do get annoyed. I'm a human fucking being, but I respond professionally. I'm like, hey, no problem. Get that. Okay. Remember, it was my choice to continue. It was my choice to give extra value and keep serving them, even though they were really running late here. But here's where the problem lies. Then they texted me a couple days after they quit. Hey, can you tell me this and help me with that? No. So I wrote them, listen, on this date you told me you were going to pay. On this date you told me you were going to pay. You were just supposed to pay on this date. I have everything in writing. And I already gave them, and I said to them, I already gave you almost 2 weeks of extra service beyond what we had contractually. So I've already gone above and beyond. So from this point, no extra services. Nothing, you're not paying me, it's got to end here. I already went above and beyond here. Listen, we do live in a world where people will take advantage of you if you let them. And again, even if it's not malicious, it is still taking advantage. I'm a business owner. I don't know what you do, but you deserve to get paid for your work, and so do I. Do I go above and beyond for people? Of course. But at a certain level, I'm not running a fucking charity here. I have certain people that I will go above and beyond that I know can't pay anything. That's fine, but that's my decision. In this case, I had a specific contract, and I want to protect you. So if you have a situation with somebody in business, work, even relationships, make sure you have in writing, make sure you have the specific dates, make sure you're clear on what would be a suitable, solution. Like in the other case I told you before, my suitable solution was, hey, you might not be able to give me what I originally was looking to get, but I do want that money back, and that's what you're going to fix for me. In this situation, hey, listen, I went above and beyond. That's fine. That was my choice. But I do have to make sure that I have a way that I can stop it in a way that's polite, respectful, but firm. And so basically all I had to do is respond back and say, hey, listen, this is the date you originally supposed to pay. You didn't. And I kept giving you extra service, including A, B, C, and D, for almost an extra 2 weeks, which you did not pay for. So at this point, I've already been beyond nice to you. So I'm not going to feel bad about drawing a line here and saying, hey, we're not going any further here. See, that's a problem. A lot of you will feel bad by saying no to this individual. Why feel fucking bad at all? You've already gone above and beyond. You already have the dates. You already have things documented. At a certain point, you do have to say fucking stop. And for me, as a business owner, giving extra services, extra time, coaching for 2 weeks beyond what was paid, that's more than enough. So, you have to have a way to do that. Anyway, I hope this is helpful, whether it's in business, work, relationships, or whatever. Get the stuff in writing, be willing to kind of list what they didn't do, and have a really clear solution that they can handle. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like or subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Ciao for now.